Hi, DS106. I wanted to respond to the live broadcast from, I guess it was Tuesday, entitled Creativity, Pop Culture, and Copyright. I have 2 points I wanted to bring up, and I wrote down like kind of a script this time, so hopefully I won't get off track. Um, the first point I wanted to address was the issue of copyright. I'm not entirely sure how I feel on the topic because I can see the pros and cons of it because on one side I understand why copyright is there because you, people there has to be rules and like boundaries addressed or else people just go do whatever they want, and if copyright wasn't didn't exist, then people would probably go and take other people's work and just claim it as their own and like just plagiarize all over the place. Um, but at the same time, because copyright, or on the other hand, because copyright does exist, I I think it stops people from being able to create their own work because in environments such as this class where we have to go to Flickr and take other people's work and like alter it, if everything on Flickr was not like Creative Commons, but it was like all rights reserved, then we wouldn't have anything to work with, and then all our creative processes would just stop, or it just wouldn't work as well. So I mean, I see both sides of it. I really like Creative Commons. I didn't even know what that was before this course, but I think it's like a nice median between the two like extremes because um, they're different levels to Creative Commons where I because when I set my pictures to Creative Commons, I I like read the different descriptions, decide which one I wanted, and I found out that there's ones where you can just let people use your work, and then just they'll give you credit for that being your work, or you can let people use your work and then alter it by like adding like text or something to it. So I think that's really cool, and I don't know why people like wouldn't let that option like for their picture, wouldn't allow that option for their picture. So um, I mean, I think it's important to cite people, but I also think that it's stupid to not let anyone use your work because like we learned nothing's completely original, so why wouldn't you just let other people mess with it? Moving on. The second point I wanted to bring up was the the driving forces of the Western culture. Shannon Tate made a video response to this live broadcast earlier today, and I commented on it on her blog. And so I'm just gonna reiterate some of the points that she brought up, and also my response to that on her blog. Um, it was brought up in the live broadcast that there's like no creativity in Hollywood nowadays, and I also think that that goes along with the driving forces of the Western culture. Shannon Tate brought up that she doesn't like movie sequels, and I don't like movie sequels either. And in my comment, I use the examples of the Disney like animated movies during the Disney Renaissance, which I guess was the like late '80s, early '90s, where they made all those animated like really like the really well-known animated movies like Beauty and the Beast or like Lion King, which are really good like standalone stories. Someone decided it would be a good idea to make sequels out of all of them, and they weren't very good, and they didn't even use the same actors to voice the characters, and the animation was really messy, and they just were like not good at all compared to the original. All these movies, they didn't even come out in theaters; they were straight to DVD, and it was obvious that they just didn't care as much, and they just made them and sold them because people already knew the characters were, and so parents like felt comfortable buying these movies for their kids because they already knew that they were like appropriate, and people older people were like older already like really like these characters, and then they wanted to watch something else with them in it. So they were just taking advantage of their audience and capitalizing off of that, not because they actually genuinely enjoy making movies, which is sad. I don't like that. And also, Shannon Tate also brought up that she doesn't like movies nowadays. Like, I guess the majority of them that come out now, and I also agree with that, because majority of stuff that comes out now is just like romantic comedies, it seems like, which you can figure out the entire plot of the movie by watching like a minute long preview. And again, movie industry knows that people will buy into that, because there's all these like girls, and I'm sure like guys too, that like watch these movies and envision their life turning out like that, and so they know that they can capitalize off of this. They keep making these like movies, even though they're not good and they have nothing substantial in them. I don't know. I think it's cool that we're in environments like this class, that we're working through a creative process and we're creating all this new stuff. And I feel like things like the industries, like the movie industry, should work on progress like that, because I think it's sad that they're basing everything off of their like reputation or the fact they're going to get money off of it. I mean, I guess they have to work, but I don't know. It's sad. It's just not what it used to be. And that's my thoughts on that. So that's it. DS 106 for life.